colors turned to echoes, and the echoes turned to light.
They saw the comfort and a blindfold eye, said to trust the hand that feeds you. Don't you dare to ask it why. But I hunger for the real thing
Is a fire you can't deny.
Yeah, the ground is started in your bones. We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Every color, every creed now, tired of a great divide. We're looking for the facts, not fiction, with our conscience as our guide. They built their thrones on silence, but the quiet's over now.
We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Let them hear the voices, a million strong and clear. The age of make-believe is over. The reckoning is here. We will not be fools. We will rise for justice and for truth. We will not be fools.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Okay, fair game for the public to hear in the Brian Kohberger case. But what about the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case? And the reason I'm bringing this case to the forefront, if you don't know, I shared a lot of insight in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case a while ago when she got out of prison almost it's coming up almost 2 years in December this year. So, this case was compelling also. When I started following this case, it was because Gypsy Rose Blanchard had been reported missing along with her mother in Springfield, Missouri in 2025. And if you know anything about my background, there was a concern 100% in this case because of the fact of the interviews and the public records that were available after this case had went to a plea deal for Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Of course, she admitted to second-degree murder, served 8 to 10 years. She served 8 of those 10 years, was out on probation, parole, whatever you want to call it. And then obviously, here we are talking about it. And why am I talking about it? Because immediately when she was released from prison, she went on social media. She went on a tour all over the country. So I'm going to get into it in 1 second, but I'm going to welcome you all in. Peony, congratulations for becoming a member. Welcome to the nest. And hopefully, I think you said you were a golden flocker. All right, welcome in some of these names. If you've noticed, you do have a whole list of new emojis and you have some amazing member badges now. If you see the progression of the amazing colors that I picked out for all of you here, for the subscribers and also the members. Welcome in, Dina. Welcome in, Caleb. And I see some OGs in the house. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Angelica. Hello, making Chevy Square again. Donna Rosa, Brenda. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are tuning in from. Now, have you guys heard of the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case? Drop a 1. Drop a 1 if you have ever heard of this case. And maybe you heard of this case. She went to prison and then she was able to get out and become, or try to become, a social media influencer. I didn't follow it much, but you're interested now. Yeah, this one is wild. Hey, Nesters, Blanchard is sicker than her mom. Yeah. Was her mom that sick, or was her mom just trying to find out what was wrong with her daughter in the day and age of new forensic DNA documentation on health issues? I mean, if you start to think about it, I don't know where I went. Her mom seemed to be trying to figure out what was wrong with her, and finally got down in 2012 to all the genetic portions of her health issues. And with that being said, she went under, she under, well, she had a lot of surgeries, folks. And the majority of 90% of them were needed to correct her vision, pull terribly rotten teeth. If you know anything about it, she used a bottle. And obviously, this girl was much older than they allowed and showed to be. Wild history in this case. Absolutely wild. Okay. So, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, victim, mastermind, or both. That's what I wrote down for this title. And we're going to step into one of the most disturbing, confusing, and controversial cases in the history of true crime. I guarantee you, because it's not just a murder story. This is a story about control, deception, a reality so twisted, even the truth feels uncomfortable. Even what I said about her surgeries. Was she even a victim trapped in a nightmare, or was it something more calculated than you could ever imagine? She was charged with the murder of her mother, along with her boyfriend that lived in another state. And trust me, by the end of the stream, you may not see the case the same way that the media has portrayed. See, the media actually went in and vetted Gypsy Rose, that when she came out of prison, she would go right and step on right into the red carpet. No joke, folks. So, Phoenix family, before we dive in, welcome. I need your gut reaction. No overthinking right now. Was Gypsy a victim, guilty, or both? I don't explain it. I just feel it. Because we're going to come back to that at the end of the stream. And I bet some of you may switch sides. I bet some of you will. All right, let's rewind. For years, this world, right, this media portrayed Gypsy Rose Blanchard as the Make-A-Wish girl, the one in the Children's Mercy Hospital, wheelchair looking sickly child. This girl was already an adult in this picture, folks. It reminds me of the Natalia Grace story. Okay? They paraded her around as this sickly medication, forced on feeding tube, shaved her head to make her to look like a cancer patient. And for years, we thought she was sick, fragile, and battling leukemia. She even scammed musicians, folks. Musicians out of money. We see a mother, devoted, caring, sacrificing everything. But behind the image, Dee Dee Blanchard told doctors that her daughter's illnesses that she didn't actually have. That's what we were told. We were told that she shaved her head to make her look like a patient. She was forced feeding tubes, medications, surgeries, all unnecessary. Let that sink in. This wasn't about lying. It was about control at the highest level. And even if her mother had been doing this, even the grifting and the gifts and the trips, that was at the highest level, a mother in Gypsy Rose's life. Now, we're going to put our armchair reinvestigator hat on, and we're going to look for red flags because we're going to break it down. How did no one stop this? Not the doctors, not the neighbors, not the friends. They all knew. There are so many red flags in this case. Medical records didn't match, age inconsistency, birth certificates, and the wheelchair dependency that didn't make sense. And yet, everyone believed the story. Why? They say Mom, Dee Dee, her mother, controlled the narrative when she was younger. Do you believe that Mom controlled the narrative when Gypsy was younger? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you believe that Mom controlled the narrative? I do. I believe her mom did control the narrative while she was younger. And then when Gypsy aged out, they still tried to make her look younger, feeble, fragile, sickly. And the media helped along with it. She loved the attention. And here's where it gets real. Here's where it gets deep. Gypsy didn't grow up like a normal kid. She wasn't just controlled physically, she was controlled mentally. She didn't even know her real age. That's she says. Imagine that, your identity, your body, your reality, all controlled by someone else until there's a conflict. And then the internet enters the picture. A young teen on the internet carousing what the real world is like. Real world or fantasy world, right? Because Gypsy absolutely loved being a princess. She loved all the free trips. She loved all the attention and all the accolades from the media. And this was a whole new world for Gypsy Rose Blanchard. A whole new world, like Princess Jasmine. She could identify with Disney because she wanted to be a princess. She was even in pageants when younger that Dee Dee had put her in. And yeah, even I agree. They had manipulative personalities. Even in her book, she admits this. Yes, I read her book. What was her initial diagnosis when she was born? Well, there was no initial diagnosis when she was born because there was no medical catching up in the genetics field to understand what was wrong with her. She was eventually diagnosed with a genetic disorder that could be passed down to her own children. And let me grab that disorder. She was diagnosed with, she became, I think it was, well, they say that Dee Dee had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That's what they claim. But Gypsy Rose had a 1Q211 microdeletion syndrome. And some of that microdeletion leads into some of the behaviors that you see. I did tons of videos on this. It's a misconception of financial gain. And sadly, that's what the narrative was for many years. And the 1Q211 microdeletion is a condition, and it's associated with delusional thinking, emotional instability, difficult processing complex relationships. And it was challenging, but also challenging was becoming a teenager. Definitely becoming a teenager under this control and alleged abuse. And when you start looking at the bigger picture of this case, you start questioning how much control was Gypsy's, and then how much control was Dee Dee's by the time that Gypsy, in fact, got older. It is a scary situation to think about. And this is before Gypsy Rose wanted her own independence. Now think about this for 1 second. The internet enters the picture in Gypsy's world. Technology enters the picture in Gypsy's world. She's then on social media. And this is why I put banned. TikTok banned Gypsy Rose. But let's think about the internet entering a picture of a young teenage, socially, I want to say, put away. She was homeschooled. And then she meets the internet. Then she meets other men locally at Comic-Con, or what was it called? It was something where people get together and they have those, what is it called? It wasn't Crime Con. It was, I think it was hold on a minute. Was it Comic-Con? Is that what it was? I can't remember the exact same name. Shoot. Where she meets a couple of other different men. Very awkward situations. Very awkward. I mean, allegedly her mother pulled her from a situation where she made her come back home even as an adult. Then she meets Nick Godejohn, a man that lives in another state that was named her co-conspirator, her co-defendant, that she claims in court introduced her to a lifestyle, and that he traveled from state to state to commit a crime. And again, if Gypsy Rose Blanchard case and Nick Godejohn crossed state lines, why wasn't Nick sentenced federally? I've always wondered this. Both of them charged locally, and Nick Godejohn, they both fled, but they both had to go back to Missouri. He crossed state lines to commit a murder, but yet he was held in prison in Missouri, Springfield, Missouri. An autistic man lured to come in to commit a crime with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And this is where the whole shift begins after she meets Nick Godejohn. Because she now has telling her someone, you're not sick, you're being controlled. Your mother's the one that's doing this. I'm coming to see you. I'm going to visit. Sneaks into the bathroom at a local movie theater, allegedly. Has sex with this girl that's supposed to be in this wheelchair. And everything changes. Now we get to the part people argue about, because this wasn't impulsive. They say it was planned. Messages, conversations, fantasies. You can Google all this stuff on the internet, folks. It's insane the amount of information that is out there in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. Absolutely insane, especially since a lot of people began FOIAing all the information. It's been wild. And it kind of reminded me, look into the immense, planning. Yep, I agree. I agree. She wasn't as sick as everyone claimed to be. I think Dee Dee had a huge role in this, humbly, as a mother. And sadly, I think Gypsy began controlling her mother. Totally began controlling her mother and her demise because she didn't get her way, in my opinion. I think so. There was some psychological, massive things happening in this case. And I'm going to show you a quick video that will make you think twice about this case. And then I'm going to show you the records from the police, so you could see for your own self. This information that we FOIA'd, all the information we got from the Greene County sheriffs, it makes sense when you start looking into the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. I always question why they didn't take Nick Godejohn federally for committing a murder in another state. Here are some videos that I created in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case.
Let's look at the photos together. What do you think about all this? I mean, even in her book, her mama made her use the wheelchair and she stayed in that. But look how cluttered and disgusting this is. How could anyone really maneuver in a chair, let alone walking around in the house? I mean, come on. I can understand a little bit of clutter, but this amount of clutter on the floor and all around, there is no way someone could use a walker, let alone a wheelchair, maneuvering around this mess. I mean, what are your thoughts? When you start to really look at things, do they add up? Does anything that this person say add up other than what we see as evidence?
It's just basically saying they faked the wheelchair use. Her real age was not shared.
If you'd like.
And there was a couple of other.
Remember she said she was going to shave and get ready for Nick? Well, I remember this. Let's watch it together.
I thought that he could be the one.
Let's listen to what she says closely.
From this existence living with my mother, he starts talking to me about how he would kill my mother for me. He arrives at the house, I get down on the ground, and I hear screaming, and that's when I hear her call my name. And she's like, Gypsy, help me.
What?
And to this day, I can't get that out of my head.
Right there.
What in the world happened? You know, we didn't know what to think. Oh, fuck.
Now this here, let's talk Gypsy Rose, the biggest grifter ever in the history of ever. This video is for education and entertainment purposes. And I will tell you, this chick non-stop claims she's a victim, but yet there's so many inconsistencies. I'll share a few, and I hope that this is the last season and this chick will go away. If you all remember Sheriff Arnott, you know, the one who publicly said, please do not donate to the Blanchard family, because he knew the fraud that was going on and that this whole thing could have been manipulated. And of course, we know. Now, you can pause to read, of course. But Sheriff Arnott's main concern stemmed from the fact that Gypsy Road had been presented as a vulnerable victim and suspect that the story might be more complicated than it appeared, potentially involving fraud and manipulation. And of course, the media picked up on that. And boy, the media has become her mother. The media is exploiting Gypsy Rose. And sure enough, she's in on the con, and she's loving every minute of the attention that everyone gives her. Now, I will say this is for educational purposes only. In my humble opinion, they probably should violate her parole and throw her ass back in prison. What are your thoughts about all this? Here.
Yeah, I was a little spicy.
Phoenix.
Oh gosh, don't get me started on Lori Daybell.
Dee Dee,
Oh, here's a good one.
I just heard this and I thought, wait, that's not true. Let's listen, and then I'll show you why.
Dee Dee made her get.
Wait a minute.
I just heard this and I thought, wait, that's not true. Let's listen, and then I'll show you why.
Dee Dee made her get her feeding tube changed.
Now, here are the text messages between Gypsy and Nick. Let's look at the first one. Here, she says that she's worried about feeding tube. Here, she wanted to wait to even have a baby because she was concerned with the feeding tube, and she told Nick this. So for all of you who are believing creators and all their...
It said that she could have the feeding tube taken out.
And the hallway with the splatter on the left side was tagged. That's correct. Nick is left-handed. That's correct. Coming out, the fact would put on the right side of the wall hallway, not left. Oops, right-handed. Correct. So if you look at the autopsy report, where the actual jabs were in Dee Dee's body, you will see the type of cuts that were made in the body. And there's a whole science behind how it was entered and how and the angle and this and that. You are spot on. But one thing a lot of people forgot in this case was the actual facts and evidence minus all the drama. If you start looking at the facts and the evidence, you will see clearly more. And with it being right closely after Mother's Day, this is where it really throws me for a loop, is if she loved her mama and she resented her that much, why didn't she just pick up and go? No. I believe there was a deep-seated anger, hatred for her mama.
All right. So with that, let's get into the actual evidence of this record, and let's review what the sheriff's department put in their actual report. And how much did they charge for this report? I think this one costed me $26. $26. I've seen those crime scene pictures unredacted. Absolutely. And when we're looking at these crime scene photos, you have to remember, line it up with what Gypsy says in her book. And Gypsy actually confesses that she took the plea deal. 2nd-degree murder, jail time, 8 to 10 years. She did 8 and a couple years parole. But so the Greene County Sheriff's Office, this was like $26, $29. The main agent in charge was Stan Hancock. And in these case index files, there is a lot of hidden gems. And I'm doing high level. You can go back and watch the videos and the case summary and the report. And basically, I mean, if you guys want this document, I'll put it up somewhere. You guys can download it. This document actually shows the progression of the fraud, of the missing Facebook pictures claiming that she was raped and murdered, and the neighbor. However, in the long run, after all this documentation was done, there was factual evidence in the reports that Dee Dee Blanchard, it had looked like she was attacked outside and moved to her bed, and these individuals dumped her on her bed allegedly. And it was way before Nick Godejohn even got into the crime scene location. So many misunderstood information put out there in the media, even by Gypsy herself. And this is one of the most important things that I caught was the bus fare ticket that Nick Godejohn hadn't even arrived in Springfield until after Dee Dee was in her bed, and Gypsy convinced Nick Godejohn, in my humble opinion, to make believe that he committed this crime and went to trial and lost. An autistic man framed for the murder that someone else did, and they gave her a sweetheart plea deal. Listen to this video. There's not a lot of talk, it's music. 83 to 85. I'm going to show you 83 to 85. 83 plastic blood, possible blood swab located on the bag of flour in the kitchen counter, 7.32 feet from east wall, 7.83 feet from south wall. 84 possible blood swab located on the west pantry above the kitchen stove, 6.7 feet from the floor, 14.45 feet from the wall, and 85 possible blood swab located on the upper kitchen cabinet of the east wall of the kitchen, 5.54 feet from floor, and 13.8 feet from south wall, which means the altercation took place in the kitchen. A scuffle, a fight, a knife, right in the kitchen. But even before that, some investigators did say other possible scenarios.
I cannot stand with this one because after looking at the Greene County Sheriff's reports, how could anyone believe what this girl is saying if there are two people that know the truth and one of them is unalived? Why is no one else looking at the facts of this case? And has no one looked at these reports? OMG. I've been looking at them for a year and a half, and I'm going to break them down for you because this is the one that really got me going. The red stuff almost on the ceiling in the kitchen. How in the world did that get there if the deed was done in the bed? It makes you think. Who is really telling the truth? And wait till you see some of the things that I have found in this report. GypsyRoseTrip.com. Yes, that was actually in a supplemental report that Detective Stan Hancock was looking at. I wonder what that website had on it. What kind of business were they running? Let's talk about facts. So like and follow.
All right, there is so much in this case, and it reminds me of this whole debacle from the Idaho 4. Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened. What do you guys think about some of this information that you're learning? I know most people don't have time to dig into, uh, you know, cases like this. But for me, when I look at a case, I like to get the actual police evidence. Okay, we're talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard this morning. I'll get into the other parts of the case. Now, some cases like this make the mainstream media. They carry the narrative. It generates tons of revenue for individuals. I mean, look at this one video that I made that shows you the facts.
Poor Nick Godejohn got the shitty end of the deal. And here's why. If you've not read or listened to Gypsy Rose's book, My Time to Stand, let me just show you just one of the many lies that have been perpetrated with facts and evidence, and also Nick Godejohn's interview with Detective Mahoney. Let's watch.
Nick ordered, "Get your ass to the bathroom." "Yes, sir."
Where was Gypsy at when you were stabbing her? When you were stabbing Dee in the bed, where was Gypsy at?
She was hiding in the bathroom.
Okay. Why was she in the bathroom? Why was she hiding in the bathroom?
Because she didn't know if her mom was going to kill me or not.
Oh, okay. So she thought Mom might kill you.
Yes.
Okay. Did she think Mom had a weapon, or?
She didn't believe I could actually do it. That's what I think it was.
Okay. She didn't think that you would just go in there. You don't know if she
Yeah,
had confidence in you. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. She didn't think I was
Okay.
capable of it.
Whose decision was it for her to go in the bathroom while this was happening?
She said that's what she wanted to do.
Okay.
So I just let her do it.
Here is the statement from Detective Hancock from Gypsy admitting that on June 9th, her mother had passed away. It's even in her book, chapter 14, on June 9th. But keep in mind, Nick didn't arrive until the early morning of June 10th, around 2 a.m., left around 5:05 a.m.-ish. And I'm going to talk about that next clip, especially with the video I made a while ago and what I've been saying for the last year. Read the facts and the evidence. You will see very clearly the lies, the manipulation, the deception that comes from Gypsy Rose Blanchard, but also you're going to see a lot more insight into what the actual evidence was, especially like and follow. Okay, so some of these details are in fact in this Greene County Sheriff's report. I think it's always important to know the facts and the evidence in a case, even if you don't have direct access to them. You know, you can always FOIA any request. You can always ask for every single detail, even in the John Benet Ramsey case. Boy, I covered that one, and I got the studies that were done. It is wild. It is absolutely wild. And there is also a lot of drama in the crime community to get people to stop talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Lots of drama because they don't want the truth out there. The truth doesn't make you money, folks. And that's just the truth to some of these cases. All right. So when you're watching something, ask yourself, what is the facts and the evidence coming out? What are the facts and the evidence? I'm going to bring you an old video I did in regards to facts and evidence.
Into this discussion. I'm going to talk about it later tonight on live if you want to join in. But did you know that Sheriff Arnott in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case said this back in 2016? He knew that there would be a lot that is going to be uncovered back then that we discussed today. Mind you, he's still in office and cannot speak out. However, I will share this one factual article quoted per Sheriff Arnott. Now, mind you, Sheriff Arnott worked 2 Munchausen by proxy cases prior to Gypsy Rose Blanchard's case. Interesting fact. And he was a child abuse investigator. So yet he would be familiar with the signs and behaviors. He was actually excited for the trial. But then, of course, we know that Gypsy Rose Blanchard took a princess plea deal. But this is what Sheriff Arnott quoted. Read it. In response to talking about what they would talk about for a viable offense. I am familiar with it. There are some things that I think you will see in this case, and you will think anything's a possibility are not said. But I also think you will see some things that are just the total opposite of that. How true have we seen this play out? Now, what are your thoughts? And at what length would this family go to this information to change the narrative, spin the block? Think about it. Tell me your comments and your thoughts, and we'll discuss it tonight.
So the police show up at Gypsy Rose's house after the fact, because remember, there was a Facebook post that was sent out saying that, it appears hopefully that B is dead. Well, Gypsy was the one posting these onto Facebook. Police show up at the house. They expect to find a disabled girl in danger, but instead they find the truth. They find a murder scene. And this is where things get really divided in the true crime community, because Gypsy Rose got 10 years for her part. But Nick Godejohn, he gets life in prison. And then, no more than 10 years later, uncovered evidence that there is mysterious other DNA tied to this crime scene. But yet, many of the media felt Gypsy Rose was a victim. So do you think now, with what you've seen, she could be a victim, a mastermind, or both? Because here's the truth. This case doesn't fit in a box. Yes, she may have been abused younger, but she also planned a full-blown murder of her mother. And that is what makes this case so unsettling. Her own mother, who gave her life, raised her, loved her, gave her the best she could. Gypsy turned on her mother and made an innocent man, perhaps, believe he did a horrible, awful, disgusting crime. There's so much more to this story. There is so much in between. And it will make you think twice about almost every case in the media grasp, in the mainstream media who shares these cases. What is the financial gain? Is there enough true crime in the community to make them believe and follow a case to make money?
The crosses and flowers are like the ones they give their
I
followers.
agree,
You mean on a
Dina.
live? I looked at the crime show photos. Let me show you
Here's some crime
exactly
scene
what I
photos.
saw all around the house. Not only fleur-de-lis, but look right outside of Dee Dee's bedroom. What do you see?
How bizarre! How bizarre!
So you walk throughout that whole entire house. You see crosses almost in every room. You see holy water outside of Dee Dee's room. And a lot of this doesn't add up. I think, in my humble opinion, Dee Dee had a change of heart. She started to become more religious, more in her faith. And I believe Dee Dee was fighting a demon in her own home. Yes, I said it. That is my humble opinion. That is my humble opinion. There is so much more in this case that, unfortunately, and she was alleged that she got these knives and hid them under the couch, and she bought them from Walmart. And if you haven't seen the crime scene photos, they say a lot in this case. Now, Nick Godejohn did file a new case, habeas corpus, basically being held on against his will in a crime that he may be innocent of. How many years later? 10 years later? I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but let me show you the video that I made on this one.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard saga. Nick Godejohn, her co-defendant, was actually exhausting all his appeal process. He finally has filed a petition in a federal court against the warden, Terry Vandergriff, right here. And he is taking this to the federal level. So if you're not familiar with what was filed in March of this year, due back in court in a few days, it is appealing at the highest level of court, saying, hey, I'm in prison, release me, resentence me, do something. This is against my constitutional right. He didn't get a fair trial, in my humble opinion, especially having autism, and his co-defendant obviously took a plea deal and threw him completely under the bus, and he didn't get a fair trial. So I want you to research this. Tell me your thoughts below. Do you think that he'll be able to get anywhere on the federal level now that all his other means have been exhausted? Like and follow for more.
And, I have not checked what the update status of his appeal is. Let me look just real quick. I haven't talked about this case in almost a year. Let me see if there's any info in regards to his latest appeal. I don't think I've seen anything. Where is his latest appeal? I don't think there is an update. I will bring you an update. Here is, let me just see real quick. There is an actual website. It's the archival project, Gypsy Rose Blanchard Archive. And there is all Nick's background, all his filings. Let me see. This one was filed. His last appeal was filed in June of 2024. This is the Missouri appeals. But there is nothing. There is nothing on the appeal update. So that is the actual appeal that was filed. I wonder if Brian Koberger is going to file some type of appeal at the federal level and use habeas corpus that he's being held within his own will. And, there are many people that are in prison that are innocent, that exhaust every single last appeal. So I hope that the new evidence of the DNA that was at the crime scene will exonerate or will help Nick Godejohn in some way, form, or fashion. I think he's been in prison for 11 years now. This is 2026, 11 years. I'm going to do a little bit of digging and research to see if there's any update. Here's a 2025, a case of clemency. I'm not sure if he does. I think he does deserve a second look at the case for clemency. I'm not sure if, I'm sure his autism has diminished in prison. Even his own mother tried to warn him not to go see Gypsy Rose Blanchard. He went against his better judgment, didn't listen to his mom, and allegedly his mom did commit suicide after he had been in prison. Let me just get that interview real quick. I want you to see something. This is so heartbreaking, but it's a word for the wise out there.
little bit about what's going on, okay?
And this is on a channel called Crimes for Dummies.
Oh, thank you for coming. I bet you're wanting your phone back. Yeah. I want to talk to you just a little bit about what's going on, okay? As you know, Nicholas was charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. And what happened is he got a bus ticket and he came to Springfield, which is where I live, New York. And he and Gypsy conspired to kill her mother. He stabbed her numerous times in the back while she slept in her bed. They cleaned up the area. He had a hotel room.
They cleaned up. It was all like.
They cleaned up some blood that was in the house. They got a hotel room. They hung out until they could get the bus ticket to come back here. Things that were recovered from your house, and did they leave you a list to tell you the things that were recovered?
No.
Okay. I don't know what the laws are here, but like when we do a search warrant where I live, we have to leave a list of everything that we took. One thing that your husband might remember is that recently Nicholas received a package in the mail.
Yeah, okay. I don't know about it, but if he says, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that was the knife that he had stabbed her to death. They mailed it from their house there to your house.
Are you serious?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as a teachable moment, the truth that came out after this is that Gypsy mailed the knife back to Nick's house from the crime scene to implicate when they arrested Nick Godejohn and Gypsy Rose in Nick's house. Because Gypsy fled the state and went to Nick's house with him.
And that was located in your house.
It's just, my son has never done anything violent, so it's like.
That's what he said. Oh my God. He said that he's never, what do you think about this?
I don't know. I know that once he started going down there, we always keep a close watch on him because he has. And that's
Is he being diagnosed with? Okay.
So that's why we kind of, treat him like when he was last doctor he talked to, they said his mind is probably always going to be 15, 16, right around there. Okay. So we always try to keep a close watch on him. When he said he wanted to go down there, I was a basket case. I'm like, you've never been out on your own. You know what I mean? So the last time he didn't tell us, though.
Okay.
He got a cab and never said anything to us. And I saw a taxi pull up in my driveway. Okay. And I ran out there right as he was loading his stuff. And I'm like, where are you going? He's like, well, I didn't think you were going to let me go. I'm like, well, why would, it's not okay for you to just take off. You don't tell us where you're going. So he's never done anything like this. Nothing violent. You know what I mean? That's why I'm in shock.
Okay. I think he's madly in love with this.
I know. It's like, even when I try to talk to him about, there's plenty of girls out there. You're a good looking kid. Why don't you meet a girl at church or something, he just, that's the way it works, though. When you have what he has, it's like your mind focuses on one thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I never thought he'd do something like this, though.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just trying to hold it together because I don't want to lose it right now.
I know.
I have a little boy at home.
I know.
Trying to explain to him, hey, you're never going to see your brother again. Or, you know what I mean? It's like.
Does he have many friends?
Nick.
Yeah.
He hangs out with his cousin, but his cousin's a good kid.
Okay.
They're good kids. They don't.
Did his cousin know anything about this?
Absolutely not. Okay. Oh my gosh, she's like an angel.
Is he in shock over this?
I don't know if his cousin knows. I haven't had my phone.
Okay.
They threw me down on the ground, took us to the school, and I haven't talked to anybody.
Okay.
I just called my work today. Nobody knew.
Okay.
Nobody knew what happened, thank God. But I don't know. How are we? Just for us to get down there to see him or trial or whatever. Someone have
this is what's going to happen. He'll be presented with some paperwork for extradition.
Okay.
The way he talks, he's gonna sign papers to be extradited.
Okay.
He'll be taken back to Missouri.
Okay.
Once he's in Missouri, he'll be at the Greene County Jail in Springfield, Missouri, and that's where his trial will be, and everything will be there in that
I
area.
mean, will someone be in contact with us? So we.
He's an adult. He'll have to make contact with you
Okay.
himself.
Okay.
He will have like phone access and things like that in our county. I don't know what they do here.
Right.
He'll be here for at least 30 to 90 days.
Okay.
So you might get with this county and make arrangements for visits and stuff like
Okay.
that. He did want you to know, he said that you would be a basket case, is his words.
Yeah.
And that he said that to make sure that we let you know that he loves you. And I told him that we would. And he's really in love with this gypsy. And he did tell me, I mean, I interviewed him for a long time, and he told me that that he did it because he loves her and he wants to be with her, and he thought this was the only way that they could do that. So
That's the thing that sucks, is that he's such a good kid. He's a good kid. He's not, you know, he's definitely not built for prison. I'm just in shock. There's no way we would have tied him to his bed.
yeah.
Even when that cab pulled up, I just got this feeling of where is he going?
What did you think about Gypsy?
You know, it was weird because when I picked him up from the bus station,
What day did you pick him up?
I want to say his ticket he told me was for Thursday morning, but like my husband said, he thought it was the next day, so maybe I could have got it wrong. But you know, I even asked her, "How's your mom doing? How was your because I was told she was in a homeless shelter. Her mom kicked her out, so I asked her how her mom was doing. This might have been the first thing I asked her, and no big deal. They acted like nothing. Oh, we just don't see eye to eye, you know. And then how did the conversation go? It wasn't real long, but she kept saying, "Oh, ma'am, I'm a good, I'll clean and I'll get a job." And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? What are you talking about? I thought you'd maybe stay here for a week or something. I don't know. But so it wasn't normal. My husband said when I was at work, she came down and made food. It was just weird.
Did she ever say anything or do anything that made you question anything about her?
No, because they just kind of hung out in the next room and whatever, watch TV or whatever. Yeah, I can't even, you know, it's incomprehensible what's going on right now. I haven't even talked to any of my family members.
So when was he diagnosed with
He's had it since he was a kid.
Did he graduate high school?
He did.
Okay, from where?
Nathan Hale.
Okay.
He's from West Dallas.
Okay. Did he go to any college?
No, he did take like computer courses, but as far as like a college enrollment, no.
Okay. Has he ever lived outside the home?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
He says he gets lonely quick. Is that true?
You know,
he says he.
I guess he's been talking to her for a couple of years that I know of.
Okay, talking to this gypsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but we always try to talk to him about dating someone around here, or you know.
Yeah.
Because one of my friends let me know something was on Facebook about her, saying she was trying to get pregnant.
Wow.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I had a long conversation with her about it. I was like, are you kidding me? What? I mean, that freaked me out right there. I mean,
do you think that she was trying to get pregnant?
I don't know.
We should probably give her a pregnancy test on.
Oh my God. I guess.
Yeah, I'll let them know there.
Look at her Facebook account; it's on there.
Okay. What was the name on her Facebook?
There were like a couple of them, but their names are like together on one of them. You know what? I could probably pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
That
might help us out.
I can't believe that. I don't know. I'm just in shock. Let me go on mine. No internet connection. You know what? It's I would just go under like Gypsy, Nicholas Rose, or their names together. They're like I know Nicholas is in there and I know Gypsy's in there and I think Rose might be in there. Okay. It's like they had
what was the Rose? Is that her?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I know, I know nothing about her. All I know is that I said, the first time I went down there, I said, Nick, you can't, if a parent doesn't want you around their kid, that's the way it is, that's your parent.
Yeah.
What do I teach you? What respect? You have to respect people. And
How old do you think she is?
I was told she was 19.
Remember, she wasn't 19 at the time. She's already in
How
her
old is she?
20s.
Well, we have information. She's 17, 19, and 23. So the problem is that I'll just tell you. I don't know if you've seen the news media. Did you see
I won't
Springfield?
even turn the TV on.
Okay. Well, this is the situation with Gypsy, is that her mom, it's my understanding her mom had her pretend like she was like 16 years old, and they would push her around in a wheelchair and pretend like she couldn't walk. And this went on for many of years. And she would wear a mask and hats and tell them that she was going to treatment, and they would raise thousands of dollars for her and her family. But actually, am I correct in saying she walks just fine?
Yeah.
She walks up and down the stairs.
The stairs to our house, they go straight up.
And she walks up and down those just fine.
Yeah, I mean, if she would have fell down, I would have helped her up or something. But
right.
She was walking. When I picked them up from the bus station, she was walking.
Yeah. So for years, they pretended like she couldn't walk and pretend like she was ill, and
just to collect benefits.
I'm not really sure why, but they would do, our community would do fundraisers for them.
Wow.
So that's something you're going to see in the media. Our sheriff just made a media announcement about that, because to let our families in our area were so concerned, because these were supposedly really Christian people, and here they're missing, and then come to find out mom's dead, and then come to find out now Nick's the one that stabbed her, and so what's his cousin's name?
Ricky.
Ricky. Would I be able to speak with Ricky? Does he live around the area, or?
He lives in, you know what, I'm telling you right now, there's no way that, absolutely not with Ricky. He's like.
Do you think Ricky even knows anything about this at all?
No, absolutely not. Ricky's an angel. Okay. He has a heart problem. He just goes to work and comes home. He's a great kid.
How old is he?
Him and Quinn, I'm talking about my younger son. Him and Nick are pretty close to the same age, but no, Ricky's an angel.
Okay.
Absolute angel.
Is there a phone number where I can call him?
Let me see if, oh my God, he's probably going to be in shock too. He's got to be on here.
I don't want to give him a heart attack if he has heart conditions, but.
414. It's so bad. 336.
Okay.
It's right there.
8157. Okay. I may give him a call tonight and talk to him.
Yeah.
Notice how they didn't even redact the phone number. Notice how none of this was redacted. Nothing of the interviews, not even Nicholas Godejohn. Very few redactions.
You might have to console them because they are really close, because they're both,
Is that your side of the family or his dad's side?
His dad's side.
Where does his dad live?
His dad lives in West Allis, which is
spell
right
that for
outside
me?
of Milwaukee. West. And then Alice is Allis.
And what's his dad's name?
Bob.
And where did the Curry come in?
That is my maiden name.
Okay.
And his dad's last name is Godejohn, so.
Did he change it, or?
I don't know. When he was born, I gave him my name.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know what he did. I don't know.
Do you know if Godejohn's his legal name?
It very well might be. But all I know is that I don't think he changed it legally. On his birth certificate, it's my name.
Okay. Birth certificate's Curry?
Yeah. Okay. How is he doing? I mean, is he like, I don't know, I mean, I can see him trying to hurt himself or something. Not just because he can't take pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Has he ever tried to hurt himself before?
No, but he gets really upset even when you have a normal conversation with him and there's like, you're trying to tell him something, you're scolding about something, he just can't take pressure.
And what does he do?
Just gets really huffy and puffy and like a kid would.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
He knows what he's done is wrong.
Yeah.
He knows that, or well, he says that he would have never hurt anyone if it wasn't for Gypsy and his
Absolutely.
love for Gypsy. He says she wanted him to do it. But he's doing fine. He cried a lot today when I spoke with him briefly. I had to tell him about the warrants and stuff, and he cried a lot. Not necessarily about the charges. He's like, okay, he appears okay with that part of it, but the part that he's never going to see Gypsy again or you or whatever.
So she amazingly got in his head pretty well. Like,
so those things he's struggling with, you know. I tried to explain to him everything I could. He took great comfort in knowing that I'll be where he's going in Missouri, because he says that way he could reach out and talk to someone, and I will. I am a detective, I am law enforcement, but I also am a mom, and I have a heart, and he's going to be there, and if he wishes to speak with me, he just fills out a little form. I explained all that to him, what he needs to do to talk to me.
Okay.
And so I anticipate he'll probably do that once he gets there.
Okay.
I don't know, you know, it's just a horrible situation.
They
came up with a story of how this happened, or they came up with a story, but their story didn't take too long to figure out was wrong, because we had plenty of evidence to counter everything that they tried to say at first, but it didn't, not too much longer. He just told what happened.
So does she have like a record or anything?
No, she's never been in trouble ever. And it's my understanding he's only been in trouble about the McDonald's incident.
Yeah.
That's all I could find.
Right.
Is that the only time?
That's the only time.
Do you have a way for me to get a hold of Bob?
I can give you his parents' number. It's area code 414.
Okay.
258.
Okay.
2948.
And now your last name, what is that?
Goldhammer.
Is it like gold?
It's like gold, yeah. Hammer without the H, sorry.
Oh, so like gold
Hammer.
Hammer.
Yeah.
And what's your date of birth, Stephanie?
5/28/69.
And your social? Okay, I just need that for my report. And when's the last time you seen Bob?
His dad?
Yeah.
Gosh, maybe a month and a half. He would go visit him.
How does he get there? Does he drive or?
We'll usually he'll get a ride. Like Grandpa will come pick him up.
Okay.
Or we'll drive him and we'll pick him up.
Okay. You think he would have told Bob about anything that he?
Absolutely not.
Have you talked to Bob and told Bob?
No, I haven't on my phone.
Oh yeah.
It's just really hard because all the numbers are in your phone.
Yeah, I do know that. My whole life's wrapped up in my phone, so I do understand that. What is? I was at your house today. What is the address again?
It's West 228, South 8755.
Do you spell out the west and the south?
No, you can just put the S there and the W there.
Okay.
And then it's Cherry Street.
These addresses are way different than where I'm from. Big Bend?
Yep.
What's his zip?
53103.
Okay. Is there anything that you can think of that we didn't talk about that maybe we should have, or anything that you can think of that would either help Nicholas or Gypsy or
It's just I just want everyone to know that as much as we tried to like make him not stop talking to her, but see that there are other people out there, there was no way we could do it.
Okay.
He would just get upset.
Has he been like this with other girls?
No.
Has he had a lot of girlfriends?
Maybe one or two. I mean, he has girls that are friends, but
right.
He had like one girlfriend when he was in high school.
Okay.
But no, I mean, like I said, they've been talking for at least a couple of years.
Okay. And how many times has he went to Springfield to see her?
Just twice.
Okay. And they were both this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a form of it. It's a form.
Okay. The illness and then the something.
Love it, yeah.
Okay. And who's his doctor?
He hasn't been to the doctor, so the doctor that diagnosed him, it's in the papers. I probably have to pull the papers out somewhere.
Okay. When's the last time you went to a doctor?
That was probably around 19, maybe. It was probably 19.
Okay. And he functions just fine without his medicine?
Yeah, the thing is with his medicine, when he was with his dad, he was taking his medicine, and he just didn't want to take it anymore. He moved back in with me, and he didn't want to take it anymore. But he seemed to be okay.
Okay.
He wasn't,
right.
used to I raised him. To me, he didn't need it, but
okay. All right. And he was able to get through school just fine?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was in LE classes, but
okay. LD classes in high school?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the thing is, he's a good kid. I've never had any problems with him.
Has he ever become angry with you and assaulted you or anything?
Absolutely not. No way. He would never. No way. No way. Gets a little frustrated, but when he gets frustrated, he'll just cry. Okay. No way. He's never been violent. That's what's so shocking. It's just the way the girl acted. I mean, how can you do something to your mother and lose your mother and just act like that? I was like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it.
Did you notice anything odd about her voice?
Just her southern drawl.
Okay.
Like, yes, ma'am, and that, but no.
Was she high pitchy or squealy or anything?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, but once she started telling me that she planned to live at my house and get a job, I was like, what is she talking about? You know what I mean? Okay, that's not going to happen, but I don't know. Sometimes you try and do things for your kids because you just want them to be happy.
Sure.
And as much as we tried to get him to.
So why were you guys friends with her on Facebook?
I wasn't. Oh, he asked me to, she wants to ask me questions about, whatever. Fine. I'll have a conversation.
You're right. Nick Godejohn, he did not drive. He did not drive. He took an Uber to Gypsy's house. He took a Uber to the bus stop or walked to the local bus stop to get to the Greyhound station. Then he took a bus to go see Gypsy. And in fact, here's the crime scene pictures that never made sense to me because it looks like somebody has peeled out in the yard. So much more to this case. So much more. Someone was there with one unknown DNA. Gypsy knows what happened. Some altercation looked like it started outside. From the crime scene photos, remember, there's always a path. Looks like somebody pulled up, an altercation happened, kitchen, put him in the bed. She calls Nick Godejohn. He's there within 2 days, and all of a sudden, the dates don't line up. Nothing adds up. And even Gypsy admitted her mom's death was the 9th, not the 10th. These are crime scene pictures. Just some random pictures. They thought something had happened back in the shed, in the yard. You can see the skid mark. Somebody pulled up. There was some type of altercation, thinking that maybe Gypsy was going to take the fall for it. Something happened in the kitchen. I don't know what type of altercation. And she went to prison. She may be covering for someone else. I don't know. This is the most bizarrest case in the history of true crime. I mean, people have some messy lives, right? This was another case that felt like this was truly hosed up investigation. Things aren't what they seemed. Blood evidence, lint dryer evidence. Gypsy hated bugs. There was lint all over. There was a cat involved. Cleanup was involved. Nick said when he arrived, he saw all kinds of cleaning materials. He never put 2 and 2 together. He was just there to rescue his princess. There's a lot of unredacted photos also. I won't show those. I won't show the really bad ones. But this whole crime scene did not tell the story that the media shared. Did not at all. This case was blotched from day one also. There were cigarettes, unidentified DNA, and so much more. I just can't imagine.
They're on Facebook. Give me a break.
Okay.
You know, absolutely not.
But she was talking about wanting to get pregnant.
Yeah, one of my friends called me. She's like, Steph, you need to go on Facebook. I was like,
Yeah,
I know my
check this
friend
out.
since I was like 15 years old, so whatever she says, I do. You know, we go way back. So that's when I was like, okay, she's not okay. Something's not right there, you know. But trying to tell him that, it's like he gets all defiant and, you know,
Right.
defensive, I should say.
Did they ever tell you they were getting married or anything like that?
God, I mean, we probably would have had time to do this better. So. Okay. That's the thing. He's a normal kid. I mean, but you know, he's just was selling himself short. Even like the servers on my work would be like, he's a cute kid, you know. Well, fortunately, he has this beast that's been talking to him for a couple of years, and like I said, he sets his mind to something. It's just like he can't focus
She calls Gypsy Rose the beast.
on other things. I mean, if you learn that's a little bit about it.
Okay.
If you focus on something, you can be really good at it.
Okay.
But yeah, he wasn't having dating anyone else. I'm like, let's go to church. You might find a nice church girl, you know.
Okay. Well, you can have your phone back, and let me get your phone number in case I need to call
Yeah,
you.
it's 262-366-4898. And if you do see him before you go back, or I don't know if he's going back with you, probably not, but just tell him that his mom and stepdad love him.
Okay.
And that you know, we will come and see him.
Okay.
I'm just trying to wait for everything. People at my house, cameras and everything. I just want to get it a
completely
little
understand.
bit, and you know.
I completely understand, and you know him better than anybody probably in the world, so you know what he's thinking, you know how he's feeling, and you know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And all I
It's
can do
weird
for
that I
you.
almost feel like he's safer.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad to say, but I almost feel like he's safer now than having contact with her on a regular basis, knowing what I know now.
Yeah. Did you?
Always trust a mother's intuition.
How long had it been that you were trying to discourage the relationship?
I'd say months. You know,
Okay.
like Nick, you're a good looking.
Mama was trying to discourage the relationship with him and Gypsy Rose. She just found the perfect fall guy.
Kid, I mean, you're a nice kid.
Would he always talk about her?
Just that he was always online with her, or she'd send him. I mean, she sent him like a ring in the mail or something, and always I love you and this and that, and like you don't even know our relationship on the internet is a relationship.
What kind of ring did she send him?
I don't know. So she probably got it out of a bubblegum machine. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm sure he could tell you.
Okay.
You know, it's really sad because he is a good kid and he's a good looking kid, and for him to ruin his life over that, I'm sorry, but she's a beast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's what we know so far.
My younger son who loves his big brother, you know.
Yeah.
He's the only brother he has, and try to explain to him, you're probably not going to see Nick, and he doesn't
Understand.
Right.
Well, I'd like to give you my card.
Okay.
And if you think of anything that you want to talk to me about or whatever, you can call me. I'll try my hardest to remember to call you when I know that he's been extradited.
Okay.
Because they won't typically tell the family or us. They just do it because of safety reasons.
Right.
So once I know that he's in our jail, I'll try to give you a call and let you
Okay.
know.
I appreciate everything. I mean, like I said,
It's a hard situation. I can't even imagine to be sitting in your shoes at all. And I know you've been displaced out of your home, and we've had your cell phones, and we've done all of this stuff. But the purpose is because he did something very, very horrible.
Is he going to be allowed to have contact with her?
He wants it bad. And sometimes, I don't know how this works, and I've never understood this in all my years in law enforcement. Sometimes inmates are allowed to write each other back and forth. So he may at some point be able to communicate with her. Now, in our facility, he will not be able to communicate with her by mail or any other way. They'll have
He wants to?
He does. He loves her.
He needs a prison shrink or something.
He loves her. He's adamant that he's in love with her and that he worships her. That's what he kept telling me. I worship her. So
I don't know. I think I'm still in shock about, I don't even, I mean, I haven't talked to anybody, and it's like, I know once I get my friends around me, I'm probably going to lose my mind, but it's like,
yeah,
I'm just trying to keep it together for my kid. I don't want him to see me lose it, you know?
right. I understand that. And
it's weird because I almost feel like Nick's safer right now than having her orchestrating him doing anything, you know? It was like, everything she said, he would know, you know, okay, baby, or whatever, and oh my God,
do you know how they met?
No, we just had to be on the internet, that's all I know.
Yeah, that's what they told us, was at like a dating site. So it was like Christian free dating or something like that.
Wow.
But some of the items we collected from his room was, of course, the clothing that he wore whenever he killed the knife.
Oh my God,
they
if I
had
would even thought anything, I would have freaking grabbed him and taken him right down here and said,
take care
bye.
of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there was a little around $4,000 to $5,000 of cash that they had stolen from the lady, her mom. We took some of his computer stuff, some of their love notes, clothing, cell phone, things like that.
Wow.
So
I mean, I knew that he was like madly in love with her, but I had no idea. But there's no way I could comprehend him doing this. Like I said, he's always been a good kid. He's never given me trouble.
Well,
good-natured kid, you know.
He definitely did it. He definitely told us exactly how he did it, and
well, yeah,
it matches.
He'll be honest. He's honest.
Yeah.
He's honest.
And it matches everything he said. Matches our scene and everything, and it's consistent. And
is she like? I mean, is she taking any sort of? You know, is she like, well, okay, it was me too, or is she trying to play off?
She takes some responsibility, but not much. Not much at all.
Like I heard someone say, they said something on news like he raped her. I'm like, give me a break. You know, a couple months before that, my friend's calling me saying she wants to have a baby with him. I mean, come on.
That statement right there, she made on a Facebook post. Did you see the Facebook post where it says, okay, that's right. Well, on Dee and Gypsy's Facebook post that they share, there's some horrible messages that were posted on there that said like, I believe like they slashed her, and or like I slashed her, I killed her, and then I raped the girl, and the girl's dead too. Well, those all were actually posted by Gypsy.
Those were all posted by Gypsy.
I'm done.
Thank you for everything.
Well,
like I said,
my heart breaks for you. If I see him, I'll be glad to tell him that.
Yeah, just tell him that we love him, and
I don't know how this detective could have done her job the way she did and know that maybe Nick was not the one who did this. How exactly, what happened with due process? They had a trial a long time ago. Nick is in jail, prison for life. Gypsy took a plea deal, pled guilty to second degree. She served her time. She's out as a social media influencer, and this is what prompted me to review the case with you. Now, don't get too upset. I'm going to show you some more pictures, in regards to the crime scene photos. Don't get too upset, because here's where the story doesn't make sense. There is a blood trail from the hallway into the bedroom. This was their medicine cabinet. There was a lock on the door of the medicine cabinet. Clutter everywhere. Hoarding everywhere. This was a house given to them by Habitat of Humanity, and there were blood stains that went from the kitchen all the way to the bathroom, all the way to the bedroom. There is no possible way that the mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, did not die in. There was some altercation, some argument, some fight in the kitchen, blood stains everywhere. Like I said, it never made sense. There is no possible way. When Nick gives his statement in his interrogation, in his statements, he says he went into the house, Gypsy gave him gloves, Gypsy gave him the knife, and he went into the bedroom and stabbed Dee Dee in bed. When in fact, if Dee Dee was stabbed in bed, there would be no blood, there would be no evidence outside of the crime scene bedroom. In my humble opinion, someone else committed the crime, and to this date, they never tested the DNA. And an innocent man, possibly, is sitting in prison for the rest of his entire life because he was that gullible to believe and it'd take the fall for the beast. Yes, there was cleanup in this crime. Yes, there was blood evidence that was cleaned up. Yes, there is miscellaneous DNA in a house where men were not welcomed, where the mother's faith was probably, in my humble opinion, used against a horrible, heinous beast at the end of Dee Dee Blanchard's life. This is another sad, horrible case that the media has made Gypsy into this innocent, poor, sick child instead of a master manipulator. Oh yes, this hat that they don't know who it belongs to probably belongs to the miscellaneous DNA. Crime scene cleanup. I won't show you the horrible pictures of Dee Dee's bed, but you're getting the bigger picture. Let's listen to the rest of the mom's interview.
Have any questions or say something that's confusing here and you're like, I don't know why this is happening or that's happening, maybe you can give me a call and I can call up here and get you some answers. And
I just want you to know that, whatever he's done, he is a good kid.
I get that feeling when I talk to
he is a really good kid, and anything you ask him, he will be honest with you.
All right.
Thank you for everything.
Good luck.
Be in touch. Okay.
And in fact, there was DNA at the crime scene that was not Gypsy Rose, not Nick Godejohn in the bathroom. All these markers were drops of DNA, trace blood. I mean, how did Dee Dee get from the kitchen to the bathroom to her bedroom? I know for a fact that Gypsy Rose could not lift her own mother. Someone else had to absolutely help commit this horrible, heinous crime. All those markers, all the evidence in the Greene County Sheriff's Department, in the files, tells a much different story than what the media has told us. If you ever get a chance, go and watch Crime for Dummies. They have his whole entire interview, which I won't play. But look at his demeanor. I'll speed it up a little.
Hello. You've been here a long time waiting on me to get here?
Oh my gosh, I've never done.
I tried to get here as fast as I could. Are you tired?
I stayed awake the entire time.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you, and I guess you said you wanted to talk to me, so,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You probably want to know what's going on with Gypsy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to answer your questions for you. Did you get something to eat?
No, they offered that to me.
But you didn't eat?
I ate something before that.
Okay, what did you eat?
They're called ham sandwiches. I guess they offer that with mayonnaise as well.
Oh, do you like mayonnaise?
Well, I don't like them with bologna though, so I should say the mayonnaise. But not when I just left alone because I've been like so worried sick about Gypsy.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Gypsy.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Gypsy, okay?
Okay.
Because I know you got a lot of questions, and I want to answer your questions, and I want to talk to you, and see what's going on. Okay. Before I do, I'm gonna read your Miranda rights. Have you ever been read your Miranda rights before?
It sounds familiar.
Sometimes they do it on TV, and the way I do it's gonna be a little different than probably what you've seen on TV, but it's probably about the same. Okay. All right. Can you read and write?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you some questions I already know the answers to, and that's one of them. I know you can read and write. So whenever I'm talking to you, I may ask you some questions I already know the answers to. Okay. Okay. Will you fill out this top part for me?
Sure.
You got handcuffs on?
Yes, I do.
Do you care if when we take them off? Would you be more comfortable?
That would be a pleasure to
Okay.
do. Because these things.
Have you done them a long time?
I've had this entire time.
Okay.
Now, I've never known a detective to take off a murderer's handcuffs in the middle of an interview. Have you? Wouldn't that be a violation of safety? Hello? She's got pens laying out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She is amazing. She was an amazing interviewer with Nick Godejohn. You would never unhandcuff someone who was dangerous.
Take them off so you can get a little more comfortable. That probably feels a lot better, doesn't it?
Oh, I have been waiting for that for a long time. All right, so
it says Nicholas. You go by Nick. Nicholas, something different?
I prefer usually by my family I'll be called Nicholas, but by friends and other people I usually be called Nick.
What would you like for me to call you when I'm talking to you?
Nick.
Nick. Okay, I'll do it. That's your address.
Okay. Oh jeez, a little too much. I'm trying to think of I include my Big Ben and all the rest of.
Is it just Big Ben? Is it you just put Big Ben there?
Okay.
I could probably figure that out. Is it Ben or Bend?
Bend.
Oh, okay.
Bend is Wisconsin.
And then this right here is your date of birth.
Okay. 5/20/89.
And how old does that make you?
26.
26. Okay. Right here is schooling. So that is like, did you graduate high school or?
Yes.
Okay. So
That's as far as I've gotten.
okay. So just put HS or high school or something there, just so that way I'll remember, because sometimes I forget things. Social security number right there.
393042284.
And then here is the date.
I lost track. It's been
I
so
think
long.
it's the 16th. I don't have my phone with me, but I believe it is the 16th. You know what? Let me go look real quick. Okay.
Please do.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, please.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go get the time and the date.
Okay.
And put your initials right there. We'll go through each one of them together.
Okay, because well, I have a question.
Yeah.
If I may ask, is it okay if I put it right there after you've read them all to me?
We have to do them one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's just so I can make sure you understand each of them.
Okay.
Just your initials. Yeah, just like that. Okay. The next one is you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court.
That's a little different than on TV. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I told you. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before he asks you any questions, and have a lawyer with you during questioning. Right there.
Always remain silent.
If you can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any question if you wish. That one goes right there. Okay. If you decide to answer questions now without an attorney present, you can stop answering questions at any time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sign right there. Initial that if you understand that. And can you read, Nicholas?
Yeah.
Another question I knew the answer to, but I went ahead and asked it. But if you can read.
I don't think he understood his rights fully. Anybody who's arrested in that situation, they came into his house, scared the hell out of him, arrest him and Gypsy at the same time, separates
This
them.
paragraph right
I don't think he understood.
here to me out loud, and if you understand it and agree with it, then you can sign this paper.
Okay. I have. Okay. Please forgive me for
No,
wait
you're
for so
fine.
long.
You're fine.
Okay. I have read this statement of my rights, and I understand what my rights are. I am willing to make a statement and answer your questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or
Coercion.
coercion. I've never been able to say this word at
I
all.
know. Do you know what it means, though?
Isn't it mean like a form of punishment?
Yeah, trickery or anything
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, coercion of any kind have been used against me.
If you understand and agree with it, then you can sign it.
All right.
And then I've got to sign it too.
Okay. Oh, as a witness. Okay.
Yeah, they always make us sign them too.
Okay, let me get into where she starts to question him about what happened. This is the important part.
And then we got comfortable to where we about like I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's the way that we clicked is it made it seem like we somehow just knew we were right for each other.
Okay.
So we like what was it like
No, Nick, you were right for her ulterior motive.
So you get off the bus and you walk straight to Days Inn. What kind of clothes are you wearing?
Oh, jeez. I don't have that good of a memory at this
Okay,
point.
okay.
I can't remember.
Was you wearing jeans or shorts or something?
I'm always wearing usually athletic clothing.
Athletic clothing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get off. Do you have luggage with you already?
Look, right down to, were you wearing jeans or shorts? No, athletic clothing. He wants to be very specific to what he was wearing.
Yes.
Okay, what kind of luggage do you have?
I had my clothing.
Okay.
Since I wasn't sure how long I was going to be there.
Okay.
I was worried sick about her when I got there to where I wanted to find her as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because I knew she was wandering the streets.
Okay.
So
Gypsy was wandering the... Why was she wandering the streets? Because her mama was laid dead in her bed, in my humble opinion, or half dead, or really holding on for dear life. And Nick was trying to find Gypsy to take her back to his house. Back to his house. He didn't want to go over Gypsy's house. He wanted to just get out of Springfield, pick her up, and go.
Days worth of clothing because I was going to do all I could to find her at
Okay.
that point. And then
What were you carrying your clothing in?
it was a duffel bag.
Oh, okay. What color?
It was red and black.
Okay. Was it like a Nike or Adidas or?
My dad gave me his duffel bag. It's a Marble. You know the cigarette company Marble.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what kind of it is. It's one of those kind of duffel bags.
Okay. And so you get to Springfield, so you're excited, you want to see her. So then what do you do?
I text her, and then she. There's obviously a lot of like free public Wi-Fi spots around there. So
Okay.
I don't know where she texted me from, but she was able to find somewhere to text me from.
Okay.
And after that, we would periodically keep in touch.
Okay.
But
And so you're texting from your phone?
Yeah.
What is your cell phone number?
It's a 262-50.
Now remember, they didn't redact much. Gypsy hated bugs, and dryer sheets are known to repel bugs. Dryer sheets were found all over and underneath Dee Dee's body, all around the house, all around outside the house. These were definitely little clues. I wanted to show you part of this. I'm going to give you the link that you can watch this yourself. That's his demeanor in these interviews. Now, to contrast this before we go, you know darn and well I'm going to show you Gypsy's interview because this will blow you away. This will make you think twice about some of the things that people have been said and told about the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. Watch this partial interview.
There was some pain pills.
Okay. Right. Are you doing good right now? You need any water? Or...
Some water would be nice.
Okay, take one.
And this is the
Step out here. We'll get you some water.
interview link that I'm going to put in here. Always transparent. I'm always going to share the links with you. This is the interview for Gypsy Rose, the one before. That is Nick Godejohn. This is Gypsy Rose. Okay, now watch this. I'm just going to show you just a clip because this girl sure knows how to manipulate,
Do you need to use the restroom?
in my opinion. No, this is Gypsy Rose with shaved hair.
Okay, we'll just pass it on to the medical staff so that we're ready for in case something does happen.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Hello, Gypsy.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Owen. I brought Nick in, and Nick was just really he was concerned about you, so I want to check and make sure the client looks like you're doing good.
Is he alright?
And he is fine as well. He was very concerned about you, and he wanted to make sure he knew that.
Tell him
So,
I'm okay.
perfect. That's what I'll do. So,
Tell him they're treating me nice.
excellent. I will do that. Yeah, you got a nice couch. You got a nice room. Give you the nice room.
Nice squishy room.
Yes, there it is. It doubles as a pillow. Really nice. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
And remember, she's talking in her baby voice.
Pins, but I'm trying to keep calm.
Okay, does your conditioning help with it?
It does.
Okay, all right, well, that's good to know then. Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, you just relax. Okay, that's the only real huge. Yeah, okay. Hey, Mr. Rose, Deputy Darn, Deputy Dave Jerry. I'm gonna take you up. Hey, how are you? I'm gonna take you up to the hospital, but I gotta ask you to stand up, please. I'm gonna get you looked at. Can you turn around, put your arms out. Me one, that's it. They're grasping for straw, says whatever. Hand in on?
So you rush off with the road.
No, I just haven't been in the wrong place.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm gonna just put these on a little bit later, but we're gonna walk up.
Okay, can you stay right here? I want to talk to you just for a second.
You want to sit?
Yeah, just stay a second here.
Okay, so she has said something that she needs to go to the hospital. They take her out. This is a 12-hour long interview, guys. So they're monitoring her, and it is actually a 2-hour nonstop video. When they actually get in to interrogate her or question her, they have made her wait around for so long that she's exhausted. Then Stan Hancock walks in to go ahead and interview her.
To the detective and go to the house where I was at because that's where my stuff is.
She thinks at this point she's going to go home. She thinks she's going to go home at this point. Because they have come in and out and said that they had been talking with Nick Godejohn. And remember, she liked to have her hair short. She was known to have alternative personalities. She wore all these different types of wigs. She would send disgusting pictures to Nick and all kinds of stuff. This, yes, you can do your homework. But this interview is wild. I'm just going to play a little bit of it so you can catch on to what she's doing. Two drastically different situations.
Hey, Gypsy, is it Stan? Hi, Gypsy. What you guys talk? I'm Detective Hancock. I'm from the Sheriff's Office. How are you today? Good. Doing all right? Good. Well, Gypsy, I'm here and I want to get a little bit of information from you. So, since this is the first time I've ever met you, okay? So, what is the correct spelling of your first name?
It's GYPSYROSE. And my initial is A.
Okay.
And my last name is BLANCHARD.
BLANCHA.
BLANCHARD is Blanchard.
Blanchard. Okay. Okay. All right. And your date of birth, Gypsy?
Is 7/27/1995. On here they have 91 because let me it's a long story, but
okay, sure.
Me and my mother are Hurricane Katrina survivors.
Okay.
And my birth certificate was washed away in Katrina.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they messed up all the time when they messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95.
Okay. And that puts you at how old then?
I would be really 19, but on here it's my Medicaid. My medical insurance has 23.
Okay. All right. So how old actually are you? Let's get
19.
19. Okay.
Yeah, the baby voice goes away as soon as she realized she's in big trouble. So she admits that she was 19 on what they said, but on her insurance, she's 23. So Nick has no idea all these years that he has been talking to somebody maybe older than her.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you know
older than him.
your social security number?
Unfortunately, I don't. I brought my card with me,
Okay.
but it's at my boyfriend's house.
Okay, we'll get that later then. All right. Now, how long have you actually lived there in Missouri?
In Missouri since 2006.
So you hear her talking now. Listen to how she talks into the middle of the interview.
I never.
What do you think she's gonna tell me?
He's gonna tell you that I came here just to see him and that he didn't do it.
So he's not gonna tell me that you had any part of this.
I honestly don't know what he's gonna say.
Okay, I'm asking. What day that was?
I can't remember the name of the dance.
At what point did you have your arm?
He kept on grabbing me to bring me around the house, and he made me clean up the drops of blood.
Okay. Describe that to me.
He made her clean up the drops of blood, which was already being cleaned up when he arrived.
He forced me to be naked while I was doing it.
Okay.
So, he went into the kitchen, and he asked if we had any carpet washing stuff.
Okay. What was, do you know the name of it or what did it look like? Can you describe it to me?
Just this little carpet odor remover and a stain remover.
Was it in a bottle?
It was in a reddish maroon bottle.
Okay.
And he grabbed my arm like this and said, "Clean it up."
Now, where were you at when he did that? What part of the house were you at?
The drops of blood went from my mom's bedroom all the way to the hall, into the dining room, to the kitchen. And he made me clean up each drop.
Good.
And he wanted
She just described it backwards.
a drink of water.
Because as you said, and as Ink Mama said, the detectives were able to identify the blood splatter was in the kitchen.
So he said he didn't touch any of the cups. So grab him a cup, get him some water, and he made him give him a drink of water.
Okay. What were you using to clean up the blood? Was it like a washcloth, a towel, or something different?
Scott towel.
Scott towel. Was it something your mom had in the house? Okay. What'd you do with those towels?
We threw it in the garbage.
Garbage. Okay. Where's that garbage at now?
They took it out.
Okay. Where did they take it out to? Like the street, or did they take it somewhere in a car and take it, or something
It
different?
was the trash usually passes on a Thursday morning.
Your guys' trash comes on Thursday morning.
So
See, he asked, did they take all the trash into the car? There was crime scene photos. Okay, I'll show you these real quick. There were crime scene photos that didn't make sense because the yard was tore up. It looked like a car, a diesel, a dually, some type of truck with two wheels on each side may have been there. Maybe that is the unknown DNA that they never tested. But in it, it looks like, here's the pictures. They go and they test these pictures and they're looking for obvious signs. This looks like a dually truck on one side and then obviously peeled out in the yard, left in a hurry. The detective has specifically asked, did they take the evidence away in a car? Nick doesn't drive, neither did Gypsy. Remember that.
put it out on the curb.
Okay. When did he kill your mom?
And then the night of the night.
The night of the night? Do you know what day that was?
I can't remember the name of the day. I'm sorry.
How come you can remember the night, but you don't remember the day? Can you explain that to me?
You can remember the night, but you can't remember the day. Okay, he's putting her on the spot. Tell me when Nick killed your mom.
Because I remember we were planning to sneak inside and see each other.
And you remember it was the night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Anything else you need to tell me? Anything else you're leaving out? It's your last opportunity.
No, sir. That's it.
Nothing about you?
I didn't do anything wrong.
You never killed your mom?
No.
You never touched her with a knife?
No, I never did, sir.
You never agreed? Told him that you knew he was going to kill her?
No. I never.
What do you think he's going to tell me?
He's going to tell you that I came here just to see him and that he didn't do it. But
she knows what he's going to say, that I came here just to see Gypsy and that he didn't do it. And that is exactly what happened. But there's a man in prison, autistic man in prison, blamed for this crime. Can you believe this?
So he's not going to tell me that you had any part of this?
I don't know what he's going to say.
Okay, I'm asking you direct and straight.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think he's going to tell me that you had anything to do with your mom's killing? And this is the time to be honest, because like I told you, walk out that door.
He has a romantic notion of us doing everything together as a team, but I didn't want this. I wanted my mom and him to.
So did you kill your mom?
No, sir.
Did you help
No, sir.
Nicholas kill your mom?
No, sir.
Did you have knowledge that Nicholas was going to kill your mom before he did it?
No, sir.
Okay, it's a tight one. Okay.
Now watch what happens when he comes back in this room. Takes him a few minutes, but here he comes.
What color was the wig that you had? That wig that you were wearing, what color was that?
Black.
Black. Okay. Was that your wig or whose wig was that? You saw me play dress up in or something? Okay. Does your mom normally, does she sleep naked? You know, or does she?
No.
You did. What does she usually wear to bed?
Nightgowns of their sleeveless.
Okay. You know, was she wearing anything that night that she went to bed?
A blue nightgown.
A blue nightgown. Okay. The droplets of blood in the house. And you said that you were cleaning them up from where in the house?
They went in the hall.
The hallway?
Nick wouldn't let me in my mom's bedroom.
Okay.
So they went from the hall to the kitchen.
From the hall to the kitchen. Now, are those the blood droplets that you were trying to clean up? Okay. And then the stuff that you were cleaning them up with, you said that it was it in a spray bottle or a glass bottle or something
It
different?
was in like one of those jugs.
Like a jug? Okay, was it had a handle on it or didn't have a handle or something? Had a handle on it? Okay. And what color was it again?
Maroon.
Maroon?
It's in the kitchen. I can tell you where it's at. It's by the back door.
By the back door? Okay. What, did it have any wordings or anything on it or not have any wordings on it or something different?
Bissell, I think it's for pet odor.
Bissell pet odor? Okay. When you guys left your mom's house and you said that you had called, you said Yellow Cab.
He called Yellow Cab from his cell phone.
From his cell phone. Okay. Where's his cell phone at right now? Is it at the house here?
I think so. I doubt he was able to take it with him.
Okay. What color was that cell phone? Do you know the brand of it or anything?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Okay. What color was it? Do you remember?
Black.
Black. Okay. So he calls Springfield Yellow Cab. Kind of explain to me that process there. You guys, Yellow Cab obviously shows up. And can you kind of start from there, from the beginning, middle?
And we got into the Yellow Cab, and we told them to go to the hotel, and we went to the hotel. He only paid for his stay, and I was able to just sneak in the room with him.
So explain that to me. How did you sneak in the room?
He
Were you
just
over
let
by
me-
Waffle House or something, or and then come into the room?
I just waited right outside.
Like outside?
Like the office where you would normally check in.
Of the motel? Okay.
And I just went in his room.
Okay. Did you guys go anywhere after that?
We went to Waffle House and we tried to eat, but
I didn't at this point. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward it because I want you to hear what happens when he says stand up.
But I don't have that control, and I don't want to make any promises I can't keep. Okay. As far as your personal property belongings and stuff, right now all that is part of the investigation. Okay. So it'll probably be retained for a period of time. Okay. All right. Okay. Give me just a little bit more time. Okay. Okay, stand up on me, okay? We'll take some photos of you real quick. Nothing else happened in this state that we know other crimes or you guys did anything? Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, let's stand up on me. I'll get a few close-ups, okay? Because you've got all those things on your neck there. Can you kind of put your shirt down just a little bit? Not up, but right there on the collar. There you go, just like that. Thank you.
Notice he was taking pictures of her hand, not just that hickey that she said she had.
Okay. Is this from the hospital when you were in the hospital there? Okay. Roll up your sleeve just a little bit for me. Okay, hold your hands over. Let me get that for me. Maybe just okay. Do you have any other bruises anywhere? I don't want you to show any of your body parts. Okay. How'd you get that?
he made me shave my legs and kneel on the ground and clean up the blood. So I think I got carpet burn.
So it's carpet burn? From just crawling around on the carpet when you're cleaning up the blood? Okay. Anything else anywhere else? Okay. All right. Cover back up that blanket if you want.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward it just a little. And this is where he drops the bomb. He's made her wait and wait and wait. And wait. They check in on her.
Sorry, I have to wake you up. Talk to your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff you're leaving out, girl. Well, I'm not gonna get into it with you, okay? You're leaving a lot of stuff out that you need to probably tell me. You want to talk to me about it? Tell me about it.
Sure, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell
You planned this with him, okay? You didn't get locked in the bathroom, okay? I'm not stupid. First of all, the lock's on this side, so you can't get locked in there. Okay? You went in there because you brought that knife into the picture. You brought the idea into the picture.
I didn't bring the idea.
You did bring it into. You brought the whole thing in the idea.
No.
He did it for you.
No.
Yeah, he did. Okay. So the lies, they're done. I'm not sitting here all night long.
No, I won't give you. Like, I did not think of this. I know that he has a evil side, and he did want to do it.
Okay. I understand that. I understand that.
He wanted to get rid of my mom.
Yeah, for you.
Yes, for me.
Yeah, because you asked him to.
He wanted to.
Yeah, because you asked him to. Plain and simple.
We,
Gypsy, we're not playing this game, okay? You asked him to. That's why he did it, okay? Plain and simple. We're not playing this game. I'm not spend all my night long listening to your lies anymore. You told me the truth on some things, but you left a lot of stuff out. You left a lot of stuff out. So we're not playing this game, okay? He's already told me everything. Everything.
we're both trying.
The knife was mailed. You guys mailed here, okay? We know where the knife's at. So the gig's up. You're done. It's up.
Her mother wasn't keeping her sick. She was over 18. She could have left. She had plenty of money to leave on her own. That was what the media played on it.
You're done. You're done. You hated your mom?
I did not hate my mom. I did not hate my mom. I
Yeah,
loved my mom, and
you would have never done this to your mom.
He needs to tell you that I've been having horrible, and I didn't want to do it. And he said that he would commit suicide if we didn't. Did he tell you that?
Yep. Yep.
I said that it was a bad thought that I was thinking, and
No.
I don't think that we should be doing this.
A lot of people think about stuff, but when you act, that's when you cross the line, and that's what you've done. You acted upon it, and he acted upon it. So, okay, we're done. You're obviously going to keep telling me lies.
I'm
So
not, sir. I'm not, sir.
Now you're going to be booked in for later on down the line. You're going to be booked in for probably murder. Okay, as long as and with him as well. Okay.
I didn't murder my mom, sir.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You did because you're behind it. You pulled all the strings on it,
I did.
and you're behind it. I'm not listen, Gypsy. I'm not going to sit and argue with you about. It, okay.
All I wanted was him to come and get me.
No, that's not all you wanted. There's a lot more to this whole story that you're leaving out. I'm not going to play the sympathetic game. I'm not like that. Okay. I can see right through it. Okay.
Please, I'm not able to be in jail. I have a lot of medical needs.
I understand that, and they'll get taken care of. Okay. So sit tight.
Yes, she had access to money. And in fact, she had actually, allegedly, per a police report, stolen some possible money from her mom months before this happened. And they were having really bad arguments over this situation. And in fact, when he drops this bombshell, watch her reaction. She just realizes she's going to jail. She thought her medical needs would keep her out of jail.
I want a lawyer. Please, sir. Sir.
Now she wants a lawyer.
I want a lawyer. Please, I need a lawyer.
Great. Have a seat.
I did not. Please, someone help. Help me. I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
She could have simply just told the truth what happened that night. She could have, she explained to the detective that Nick would say that he just went there to pick her up. And this, my friends, is how we know that Dee Dee did not die in this bed. The evidence is not there. This is Dee Dee's room to suggest that Dee Dee did not die in this bed, stabbed to death. In bed. Would you look at that? Now, what do you think now that you've seen more of the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case? Nobody was stabbed, in my humble opinion, in this bed. They removed the 2 top sheets, money, cash, $4,200 right there next to the bed. Bank accounts. Dee Dee had just bought a newer vehicle a month before or 2 months before. They had funds. They had money. They both had health problems. Gypsy wanted out. She could have walked away. Whoever broke into this bank had the money in another state with the boyfriend when they were arrested. So much more to this case. And watch the rest of this interview.
We'll be right with you, okay? I'll let you know what's going on. Okay, he actually stepped out right now, so if you just want to hold that, and when he comes back, we'll be able to, okay?
So she has to tell him something. Obviously, he'll come back in. She lays by the door because she's trying to listen to what they're saying.
All right.
She tries to lay by the door because she wants to hear what they're over saying outside. And then they check in on her and watch what happens.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Right. You're on the floor there?
I'm just scared.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to end up moving you from this room here. And for the night, we're going to put you up in a spot up in the jail. But it'll be probably about another 5 minutes, and then I'll walk you up there, okay? So yeah, I'm going to put your boots on. Stay comfortable for a couple minutes, and I'll get you up there.
She puts her teeth in. She had him in her pocket.
All right, we are ready to head up. What we're going to do is we're kind of be in the jail facility. We're going to wait there for a while, and investigators will probably talk to you again in the morning, but at least this gives you an opportunity to probably get something to eat and get some regular sleep, okay? So, yeah, if you want to step out, by policy, we're going to have to put some handcuffs on you. Okay, just turn face away and put your hands behind your back.
And assuming that she didn't, so she just got some tiny little rips here, so I'm just making sure that.
Okay, so that's the rest of it. You can go over there and watch that video. Now, I just want to leave you with this. I'm going to show you some very sensitive warning pictures. This is your warning if you're not going to be able to stomach pictures from the actual crime scene on Dee Dee's bed. It is not very graphic, but it's the whole point to show you there is no possible way in my mind from these crime scene photos that anyone was totally 100% unalived in this bed. I showed you the mattress. This is the actual crime scene photos. If you can't stomach it, log off now. I don't want to cause anybody any trauma. And here is the pictures of Dee Dee's bed. And this is the prayer scarf that Dee Dee wore to bed. And she was also known to wrap the prayer scarf around her. This was the actual bed that they said that Dee Dee was unalived in, that Nicholas Godejohn stabbed her to death. This was the crime scene, folks. There is no way, in my humble opinion, that Nick Godejohn did this awful crime. It was said perhaps that Dee Dee was put in the bathtub and drained of all her blood. And that was not just some rumor that was going around. They actually drained the sewer to see if that's where Dee Dee had been washed down in the bathtub. All right. So those weren't as graphic as everybody has made this out to be. There is no possible way. And how do I know that? In the yard, the exterior house, there are crime scene pictures that actually show where they went and drained a pond, drained the well, drained everything to see if there was any debris, any proof. They drained the well. And they did it at nighttime. And here was the actual pictures of that, where the well was actually located. Now, yeah, makes you think, what in the hell happened? There's some ritualistic things in here that could possibly be true. I don't know. All I know is that Dee Dee Blanchard was unalived, and two individuals ended up in prison, one for life, one with a princess plea deal. Said there was some other things involved. Prescription medication sales, some other things. Crime scene didn't match what the media shared. Cigarette butts left behind, unknown. Somebody that was driving and peeled out. Some coincidental, I don't know, in the Idaho 4, not sure. So little blood. She was bedridden 2 months before her murder. That's what was said. She couldn't walk. I have no idea, but I will tell you, this is another case that doesn't make sense. And now she has been banned from social media. There should be some law that you cannot be on social media if you have this type of felony. And who wants to be influenced by this person? Not me. Thanks for tuning in today. You guys have been fantastic. This is giving you just a little break from the Idaho 4 to look at another case. And I'll be talking about a different case in between these breaks with the Idaho 4. Do you have any guesses of whom the other people were? Absolutely. There were other people in this case that have been brought up. And one of them reached out to me and said they want to have nothing to do with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, but it is not the person that the police believe the unknown DNA was from that was tested. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm very picky with who I follow, who I watch. I really wouldn't say follow, who I don't know, view. View is more like it. But everyone, thank you for keeping this chat very respectful. I love you all. Take care. Be well and be blessed.
The whispers turned to echoes and the echoes turn to lies.
They saw this easy comfort and a blindfold for her eye. Said to trust the hand that feeds you. Don't you dare to ask it why. But I hunger for the real thing.
Is a fire you can't deny.
Yeah, the ground is starting to shake now. Can you feel it in your bones? We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Every color, every creed now, tired of a great divide. We're looking for the facts, not fiction, with our conscience as our guide. They built their thrones on silence, but the quiet's over now.
We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Let them hear the voices, a million strong and clear. The age of man